Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're doing another tarot card reading. Before we dive in though, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. If you want to know more about Wicca, witchcraft, shadow work and tarot, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. And if you want to become a confident tarot reader and learn to read the tarot using your intuition as well as your knowledge, then get onto my mailing list. I'm about to launch the Confident Tarot Reader course. It is a full course on tarot, and it will teach you how to read the tarot intuitively and to give you that confidence in being able to read the tarot for yourself and also for other people if you choose to read for other people. The link to getting on my newsletter so that you can find out exactly when it's all happening and when you can enroll is in the description field below this video. So now I'm going to just shuffle the cards. This is the Anna Kay deck that I am using. It is an interesting deck. There are cards that I really like in this deck, and there's also cards that I just think are a bit, I don't know, I don't necessarily like the artwork. But I find that this deck's just really good for reading what the cards mean. The artist has really captured meanings here. It's a simple deck. It's not like your esoteric type of deck that works with occult symbolism. It works purely sort of more psychologically. So if you're more into the psychological aspects of the tarot and being able to connect with the tarot in more of that human kind of way, then this could be a good deck for you. The meanings are pretty similar to the general Waite-Smith meanings, so you don't necessarily have to learn new meanings for each of the cards. It's based pretty much on the same principles. It's just more psychological than it is occult, that's all. Okay, so what is the message for today? Okay, what have we got here? We have the Nine of Swords here, and this is actually one of the cards I really like in this deck. I really like the artwork in this card, and for some reason there's a beauty in this card that's not in some of the other artwork, like say the Waite-Smith deck for example, and it's within the beauty of this card. I think it's the colors. I like those sort of purple shades sort of mixed with the sort of the grey. That sort of really brings the meaning out, and you've got the blue there too, from on the bed, and also what she's wearing. And these colours really speak to me about that dark night of the soul that we sometimes go through, where we are up at 3 o'clock in the morning worrying about something and just not being able to get any sense of peace. And I see this as, it's almost like these situations happen in life. It's just, that's what life's about. So if you're feeling this way, or you know somebody who's feeling this way, know that what this card means is that a lot of what's going on is really just going on inside your own head. The swords are a symbol of the mental realm, and so often when we're in this sort of despair, it's because we're in the despair mentally. It's a mental despair. We're thinking thoughts that are causing the nervous system to react in a very uncomfortable way. And this can be about worry. Worry is an activity that we do that doesn't actually have any practical purpose, because worrying over things doesn't solve anything, it doesn't change anything, it just makes us feel horrible and make us feel worse. And I feel that, at least from my own experience, I learned to worry because I saw the adults around me worry when things would happen. And so I would feel that if I didn't worry, then I wasn't safe. It's not safe not to worry when something happens. And sometimes we can feel that the worrying is necessary, because if we didn't worry, then we wouldn't be putting in the effort to solve the problem or doing what it is that we feel we need to do in order to feel better again. But the truth is, the worry is actually not helpful at all. It's actually knowing what it is that you're feeling, what the belief is behind it, and working with that that is going to be really, really helpful to you. It's almost like an indulgence in negativity, this card. And you may very well have things to worry about. You know, there may be definitely things that aren't going well that you're concerned about and that are causing insecurity and fear and paranoia. The thing is, the worrying in itself isn't actually going to change anything. It's not going to do anything. It's about being where you want to be emotionally and putting yourself in the emotion you want to be in so that you can start to create magically the situation that you want to be in. So this is a worry card. Really seeing it as a worry card today. It can also be about staying up late at night, maybe grieving over a situation. And of course, grief is a process that you have to go through if there is a loss. So that's not something that you can necessarily do anything about. It's just a process to go through. But any worrying or anything associated with that, it's understanding that the worrying isn't going to be helpful. In many ways, worrying just creates this dog, you know, chasing its own tail, and often the feeling and everything actually can make things kind of worse in a way. So look at things, try to look at things from a point of view of, if I wasn't worrying about this, what would I be doing? If I wasn't worrying about this, how would I act differently? If I wasn't worrying about this, what would I be feeling right now? What would I like to feel right now? And feel into that. Feel into that. Just because something's going on in your life that you're not happy with doesn't mean that you can't feel differently about it. It's okay to feel differently about it if that is going to be helpful for you. Something that we can work with is ourselves, and even if an external situation can't be changed, or it's too difficult to change it, or no matter what you've tried magically, it's not working the way you want it to, you can always change how you feel so that you can change the situation in a way that's going to work for you from a magical point of view. So focus on what you're saying to yourself in your worry and in your concerns. Challenge it to see whether it's real or not, and then ask yourself, if I wasn't worried about this situation, what would I be doing? And you might find the solution to the situation is in that. Because whenever you've got a problem, the solution is contained in the problem. And sometimes the worry can actually stop you from seeing the solution, because the chemicals and everything that go on in our brain when we are feeling in a state of anxiety actually stops us from being able to think rationally and to think clearly. And so anxiety tends to make us, well, it tends to make us less rational. And that's a chemical thing that's going on in our brain. So if you can imagine what you would feel if you weren't worried, then you might find that the solution to the problem is then going to come to you. So that's what I'm seeing for that card. And when it comes to the tarot and reading tarot, it is about just trusting what comes to you. And of course, if you're reading for someone else, interacting with that person so that you can get a sense of what that card would mean to them as an individual. And this is something that does take practice, but it's also something that you can learn to do. And that's what I'm teaching in my tarot course, is how you can read from your intuition, practicing reading on yourself, and just different techniques and activities that you can do as you're learning the tarot to be able to get you into that state of being more confident with how you're interpreting the cards on that day with that particular person or with yourself. So remember, if you're interested in enrolling in the Confident Tarot Reader, get onto my newsletter. The link is in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.